Interview avec Monsieur Geoffrey Lipman, assistant secretary général au United Nations World Tourism Organization. Nous accueillerons ensuite Monsieur Philippe Doubre, secrétaire général de WTC de Genève, membre cofondateur de WiseGeek. Nous continuerons ensuite avec Monsieur Patrick De Smet, former chairman de Microsoft EMEA, member of the board of WiseGeek. Et je pense que c'est probablement un des moments extrêmement intéressants d'avoir le témoignage de l'adossement de Microsoft par rapport à WiseGeek.
Excellences, ladies and gentlemen, when I was asked to say some words this evening, which is an enormous pleasure to do, I first of all thought that I would talk about Carlos's business expertise, his vision about cybersecurity, and his passion for this world that he is at the center of. But you've heard lots of that from many people this evening, and I want to share with you two experiences which will tell you something about Carlos Moreira, the man. The first one involves a public-private partnership that we at the United Nations World Tourism Organization have put together with Microsoft, essentially to bring cyberspace to the poorest countries in the world around the tourism ecosystem. And after we signed this agreement with a lot of pomp and circumstance in South Africa, in the presence of President Clinton and Bill Gates, we were left with a piece of paper, and everybody disappeared. And I turned to my friends at Microsoft and I said, now, how do we implement this grand idea? And they smiled at me and they said, you talk to Carlos Moreira. And I think that tells you something about the man, how a company like Microsoft sees him as a business partner and someone who's capable of incubating what is potentially one of the most interesting areas of interface between tourism and development and bridging the digital divide. And in 12 short months, thanks to Carlos's inspiration, we have put in place a portal called Windows on Africa, which is going to help market the African countries and also going to help them in delivering a quality and secure tourism thanks to the technology which WiseGeek is bringing to the table. We have launched an emergency response portal, again with a linkage to security, which will help people who are lost in emergencies link up with the people who are looking for them. And recently we have launched a social network called U-Tourist, which is built around our global code of ethics and is going to be a space for exchanges between wise and responsible tourists who want to give something back as well as take something out of the system. All of this has been achieved thanks to the vision and persistence of Carlos. That's one story. The other story tells you even a little bit more. About 4 months ago, we gathered in Madrid in an evening like this at the launch of WiseGeek Spain. It wasn't in a hotel, being WiseGeek and being Carlos. It was held in a cafe at the magnificent Bernabeu Stadium of Real Madrid. But the audience was not too different, and the speeches were not too different. But what was different was that there were two young men running around that room. They were Carlos's children. Even on this important business occasion, he brought his kids along because they're football fans and they didn't want their dad to go to the Bernabeu without taking them. And I think in these two stories, one, the view of a big company like Microsoft, and two, the view of his own kids, you get some measure of the man that is Carlos Moreira. And I pay homage to him this evening.